Okay guys, I just want to do a quick update video on that Amiga DOS PC emulation thing that I did the other week. Yeah, basically I couldn't get it to work. That's why you're not seeing or haven't seen a video on any DOS PC emulation on the Amiga from me. Yeah, basically I was just way too overconfident really with it. I thought I had all the pieces to get it to work. I mean, I've got the hardware, I've got the software, at least part of it anyway, and I bought a new drive, and I was just really confident that, you know, I had all the pieces of the jigsaw. I mean, I even bought a game, and it was just a matter of installing the software and slapping the game in and getting it to run really. Didn't quite go that way though. Basically the one disc that I had was the installation software, which that brings up the emulation window for the DOS PC, but that's about all it does really, and it installs what you need to get it to run. Now the most important thing is I'm missing these discs, and these with the you know, piece of hardware, with the bridge board, I was meant to have, along with that one installation disc, I was meant to have like 7 Commodore Microsoft DOS 4.01 DOS discs, and that basically is, from what I've learned afterwards, they well, they don't help, they actually set up a DOS partition, like a virtual DOS partition on your hard drive on the Amiga, but I don't have those discs, so I couldn't set up that virtual, you know, partition, so it was never going to work. And basically when I would go into the emulation window, it would say, oh god, what did it say now? It said, boot disk not found, something like that. And I learnt afterwards that the problem was it's looking for that, you know, DOS partition, which is what those discs do, it sets it up. So without those discs, I'm never going to get it to work, and that just crushed me. That was, you know, it's pretty gutting, but you know, what can you do? The other thing is that 1.2 meg drive that I bought, I also learned afterwards that was never going to work with the bridge board either, because, and I don't understand why, but 1.2 meg 5.25 inch drives aren't bootable with it. Only 330k and 720k, and get this, 1.4 megabyte disk drives work with it. The 1.2 megabyte drives won't work with it and are not bootable with it. So using that, I kept getting drive A bad, that's what I kept saying. But then so what I did is I switched over to my old drive, which was a 330k drive that I'm still pretty sure it's broke, but whatever. And that would boot up with it, and it would go through this sequence where it would check the drive, it would check the RAM, and then it would check the libraries, and then it would go through and say no boot disk found or whatever. So yeah, so even that 1.2 megabyte drive was just a waste of time really. But you know, you don't learn these things till you try, and with the Amiga it's like there's no manuals, there's no tutorials telling you how to do this stuff. You just have to get the stuff and just try it out and just try and get it to work. And it's all about persistence as well, because if you just give up straight away, then you're never going to get it to work. You have to keep persisting with it and trying to find that extra bit of information on the interweb. You have to keep, you know, just it's just one of those things. You just have to keep chipping and chipping and chipping away. And each time you'll only find like a little bit of information on one part of the internet and then on the other part of the internet, and it's then you're going backwards and forth between your Amiga and your PC and the internet trying to figure things out. And if you don't persist that way, you never find out how to get things working or what's wrong or what's not right. So if I hadn't bought all that stuff and tried to get it to work and going backwards and forth between the Amiga and the PC, I never would have figured out as much as I did. I never would have figured out that it's looking for a boot partition, a DOS partition. I never would have learnt that I needed those discs. So, I gave it a try and it didn't work. So there you go.